What's going on, everyone? Today I'm going to show you how to balance a turtle on your Ronin-SC. What? Wrong video? In this video I'm going to show you how to balance your camera on the Ronin-SC gimbal in just 4 easy steps. Okay, so before you begin, the first thing you want to do is prep your camera. You want to balance your camera in the same configuration that you're going to be shooting it. This means your lens are going to be off, your battery and SD cards already in, and if you're going to be filming this with the side screen flipped out as if you're vlogging, then you want to make sure you balance the camera with the screen out, because any changes that you make after you balance your camera, it's going to throw off the center of mass and you're going to have to rebalance everything again. After I prep my camera, I put on the riser plate, and then I put on the quick release plate right underneath it. And there's a marker that shows which direction this plate should be pointing towards. And so just make sure that you follow that. So I like to have the joystick facing myself, and this gimbal has 3 locks. It's got 2 in the front over here, and it's got 1 in the back around right here. So what I do is I unlock the front 2, and I kind of re-lock it back up as I move the arms, and so you want the gimbal to look like that. Then you unlock the top arm and you leave it unlocked so that this is the only mobile arm. Then what you do is you attach your camera. And you might have to unscrew the bottom to get your camera in. And you push it through and make sure you hear the clicking sound. And then you leave it unlocked. And step 1 is to balance the camera on its tilt. So you want to push the camera back and forth until it just kind of steadies itself without you touching it. At this point, you would lock the camera back up from the screw. And now what I do is, there's this little marker over here that you can slide back and forth. So I push this marker up against the plate and then I screw it on tight. And what this marker allows you to do is, next time you take this camera off its plate, if you push it back on, it slides exactly where it needs to go, and that makes everything fast. So you don't have to balance this part all over again. Okay, so that was step 1. Step 2 is to balance this camera when it's under this orientation. And so to do that, you would unscrew this and move this arm backwards and forward. So, let's see. That looks pretty good. So I'm going to screw it back up. And you know it's balanced when it doesn't move when it's under this orientation, or when it's under this orientation, or even if it's diagonal. So that's step 2. Step 3 is to balance the camera on its roll. In order to do that, you would unlock this one here. And what you want to do now is move the camera left and right so that you balance the roll. In order to do that, you're going to have to unscrew this one down here again. This was the first one that you touched. But now that you have the marker in place, it's not going to slip back and forth. And if it does, you just push it back towards its marker again. So we're going to push the camera more to its left, because it's going off balance that way. So let's see. More to the left. Oh, that looks good. Okay. So, once you balance that, screw it back on. Screw it back tight. Okay, so that's 3 out of the 4. You can now move your camera basically in various orientations and it would just kind of stay. So the last thing you need to balance is the pan, and that's this lock here on the bottom. In order to figure out whether your pan is balanced or not, you just have to tilt your gimbal. So if you tilt the gimbal and it kind of rotates, so it's actually doing pretty well right now. Let me show you what happens if your pan is not balanced correctly. As you tilt your gimbal, it'll rotate that. It'll rotate just like it will this way. So what you want to do is unlock this and push the arm backwards and forward until you kind of get it right. So you always start here, and you know that's not right. So you would unlock it. That looks pretty good. So I'm going to lock it back up. That's pretty good. And that's it. That is how you balance your gimbal in 4 steps. So I hope that video was helpful, and we'll see you in the next one.